Yo, what's going on there, YouTube? It's your boy, Marcus Levy, Angry Ranter here. Vlog number 11 for your Sunday vlog series. And thankfully, even though I am on my way to work and it's about 9:45 p.m. here, you're still going to kind of be able to see me because at this point of the year, it's not totally pitch black outside. But I do apologize for any of the random mystical darkness that it appears to be. But I just finished watching and catching up on one of my favorite Netflix series, which is Patriot Act with Hasan Minahj. Great series. I mean, I've always been a great patron of the, comedy news shows. I don't mind them. Last Week Tonight with John Oliver also being one of my absolute favorites, and I can catch that on HBO. And if you're in Canada, just get Crave plus HBO, because we can't get HBO up here. But and I watch that every week. But I just caught up because Hasan just started releasing volume 6. And so I said, well, I realize I kind of missed out on, because he has a very weird release schedule. He does like blocks of like 6 or 7 episodes at a time. Like 3 times a year he'll release a block of like 6 episodes. So so I was just catching up on a couple of the blocks that I had missed, because I think I went like 6 or 7 months without watching it, and then all of a sudden he's now in volume 6, and I was like, oh shit. So I might as well get back to watching it. And so the most recent episode that I finished up on, because I jumped ahead and I watched Volume 6, Episode 1, the newest one. And there should be another one coming out for, tonight for, you guys, based on when this vlog is released. I apologize for the darkness. There aren't very many street lights, as you can see down the street. They're just tiny pinpricks on people's lawns. But more importantly, the episode I finished up on was episode 6 of volume 5. So that being his last episode of 2019. And then of course this recent one being his first episode of 2020. But in this episode, right at the very end, he did a recap of the stories that he talked about in 2019 through, I think, basically volumes 3 through 5. And he made a point that really resonated with me, and I actually did a pretty massive, tweet thread about it. I tweeted, I think, 18 tweets. I know it's a lot, but I did an 18 tweet thread basically talking about what he said in the end of that episode. And what he said in the end of that episode is, and I'm going to use his metaphor. He said, with all the things going on in the world today, it's similar to having an internet browser in our mind with all these tabs open, and we get, compassion fatigue from basically being told to care about every single little fucking thing in the world today. World hunger, cancer, LGBTQIA+, racial issues, police brutality, politics, world politics, populism, issues with feminism, equal pay for equal rights, climate change, the wealth disparity, all these things. We get told to care about way too many things in society, to the point where we are going to burn out. And even worse, if you're someone in my position, where as a social worker, we're literally told that we need to keep up with everything. And the problem is, we're basically taught, my schooling was essentially teaching us how to be more compassionate towards people, how to care about people more than the average person does. But then we're told to keep up with all these issues. So now you basically turned our our hearts and minds on, and then told us now to pay attention to these issues. And so then now we're supposed to have not only an opinion on these issues, but we're supposed to keep up with it. We're supposed to advocate. We're supposed to fight for basically fucking everything. You can't do that. No one person can do that. If you notice, the majority of people who end up making major, massive headway in any major kind of field, or they make major strides in advocating for a certain group of people, usually come from that group of people, usually have put up with the oppression and the struggles and everything, and are not social workers or doctors or people who have been told to care about a wide range of issues. They're people who honed in, focused on one thing, spoke from the heart about their true, real life struggles, and then that is what resonated with people. That's what resonated enough with people to then make these issues get looked into and dealt with. You know? And so when he said for 2020, and of course now we're, almost a full 5 months into 2020 now, since we're, approaching June. He was like, for 2020, guys, try closing a few of those tabs. And I'm definitely going to rework that. I'm going to rework that mentality and say that there are a few things that I'm no longer going to focus on. I will support these issues. But for one reason or another, either because I'm not the right voice for these communities, or because, I don't have enough finances or enough even actual power to do anything about these issues, I am no longer going to worry myself about trying to raise awareness surrounding these issues anymore. And then, of course, I'm going to mention right afterwards 3 things I'm heavily going to focus on to help with that compassion fatigue, which I've definitely felt several times myself. The first of those issues is anything to do with the LGBTQ community. I am, despite having come out as asexual back in October, not the right voice for this community. They have more than enough people advocating, more than enough big name people raising the issues. I am just not the right voice for this community, and so I'm not going to stress myself out anymore trying to worry about having to whether or not I come across in an LGBTQ positive way. Yeah, the A is listed in there, but it definitely doesn't suit us the same way as it does to those who actually face discrimination on a daily basis. Second, opioid crisis. I'm not going to stress myself out dealing with worrying about the numbers surrounding the opioid crisis anymore. We already have way too much to deal with when it comes to that. And so I'll deal with that if it presents itself professionally or in my personal life in any way, shape, or form. But I'm no longer going to stress myself out worrying about the fucking daily numbers of people dying from the opioid crisis. There are a lot of people already on that issue. The next one is the homelessness crisis. I do not have enough sway or power or financial anything to be able to do or make any headway in that. That is up to your local governments in both your cities, province/states, or your country to deal with. I cannot worry about that as an issue anymore. And then there was another one, and I'm trying to put my finger on exactly what it was, but until I remember it, now the 3 things I am going to focus on. First off, climate change has been one of my biggest issues forever. I am a 100% Green Party voter. I've never even thought about voting for another party because I don't vote strategically. I vote for where my morals are. And my morals are that if I don't vote for the planet, to vote to defend the place I live, then that's just immoral to me. At least to myself. I don't give a crap what other people do. I would rather other people voted green to help support the only planet we have to live on, but it's your fucking choice. But I vote that way. I also marched back in September because it's what I believed in. And it's still what I believe in. And it will always be what I believe in. Until another party can do it better and do it without trying to enrich themselves. Looking at you, liberals. Then, you know, the second one is COVID-19 news. I am going to 100% keep my focus for the remainder of this time until COVID-19 is eradicated on trying to make sure that only the proper news is shared and that I can make sure that people, at least in my circles, are informed and up to date on what's going on with coronavirus. Because there's too much fake crap out there, and I worry about the people around me. I really do. I've already had to debunk a number of conspiracy theories, and that's exactly what it was. The fifth thing that I'm no longer concerning myself about are bullshit conservative conspiracy theories. I am no longer going to stress myself out caring about the Alex Joneses and the fucking Ben Shapiros and the Jordan Petersons of the world. I don't care anymore. They are disgusting human beings who are horribly wrong with every word that comes out of their mouth. So I'm not going to worry about that shit anymore. It's auto-debunked if it comes out of their fucking mouths. Fox News, Breitbart, fucking all that bull crap. So that brings me back to the positive stuff. So climate change, COVID news, and then of course the third and final thing that I'm going to heavily focus on is the mental health and well-being of myself, as well as the people around me and in my online community. That is where I'd rather pour my attention, into making sure that all of us are good. Because only then do we have the power to support and the mental faculties available to us to support our own issues. When we're all feeling our best. So join with me, TheAngryRanter Alliance. Join with me in picking a few issues to just drop focus, to not worry about, because enough people are already fighting for these issues. Don't stress yourself out worrying about things that really are not... I don't want to make it sound like it's not my concern, but the thing is, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be my concern, because otherwise you're just stressing yourself out for nothing. Worry about the things that are prevalent to you, and let other people deal with the other stuff, because it's somebody's passion. It's somebody's passion. Promote those things if you believe in it. And share those things on your socials if you support those in your circles who do believe in it. But there's no need for us all to advocate everything. It's not possible. I cannot deal with the Middle East crisis. I am not going to solve the war in Yemen. I am not going to defeat ISIS. I am not going to solve what's going on in Myanmar with the Rohingya. I cannot solve Indian far-right nationalism under Narendra Modi. I cannot deal with the humanitarian crisis under both China and Saudi Arabia. I cannot deal with North Korea. So why do we stress ourselves out feeling like we have to deal with all these issues? Stay aware, but don't stress yourself out feeling you have to feel anything in those issues. Feel like you have to do something about those things that unfortunately don't affect us directly when we have other pressing matters, other things that matter to you and me. World peace would be amazing one of these days. I'm not going to lie. But it's up to us to promote the voices of the people who want to fight for those issues, because we believe that they're also valid issues. But I don't have the time, nobody does, to support every fucking issue. So people, don't stress yourselves out feeling you have to fight for everything. Just fight for those few major things that you believe in. And just ask for the support of everyone around you. Just ask for people to maybe read an article, share something so that it gets reach. Maybe a little financial support if they can afford it. But not everybody's going to come out and march for every cause. With that, I shall end this rather long rant. Guys, I'll see you next weekend. Check all the socials down below and don't hesitate to like and subscribe. All right, guys. Peace out. Thanks for listening.